Okay, class, pop quiz time! Where are you going? The bell doesn't dismiss you. I did. Can I use the washroom? No, you should have gone during lunch. Get me out of here!
Teachers. Somehow, every single school has the exact same ones. It legit doesn't matter where you live or what school you go to. Walk into a random classroom, they still have the teacher that says, "The bell doesn't dismiss you, I do." You're the one that gives random pop quizzes and way too much homework. I really don't like those ones. Anyway, today we're talking about the teachers that we've all definitely had. So we're starting off with the overly chill teacher. You know the one. They were so laid back that half the time it didn't even feel like you were in school. People would walk into the classroom like 20 minutes late with Starbucks and McDonald's, a blanket, like a full pillow, and some of the teacher would just be like, "Hey." Meanwhile, the teacher next door would have called your parents by now and thrown you in detention. These teachers never seemed stressed either. Half the class was talking, somebody was watching YouTube, literally nobody was paying attention, yet they just really didn't care. They're just sitting there sipping their coffee like, as long as nobody sets anything on fire, we're good. Honestly, if every teacher was like this, attendance would go up at least 300%. Then you've got the bathroom police. For some reason, asking you to use the bathroom was treated like you were trying to escape school, like you were playing jailbreak or something. It was never just yeah, go ahead. Instead, you'd get interrogated. Why didn't you go at lunch? I don't know, because my bladder isn't on a strict schedule? Then they'd ask, "Can you wait another 40 minutes? Sure, if you're okay with replacing the chair afterward, because I will pee my pants." Like, why are we negotiating this? I'm not asking to go to Disneyland, I'm asking to use the washroom. I don't get it. Every school also had that one teacher that was just convinced they were also a student somehow. The second they learned one piece of Gen Z slang, it was over. They'd walk into class like, "What's up, chat?" Or, "No cap, this homework's bussin'." No, it's not. And the worst part is they literally used every slang word wrong. They never even used it right. It was always wrong. "This test is giving Sigma." What does that even mean? At some point, you actually start to feel embarrassed for them because what are you doing? Then there was the pop quiz teacher. These teachers wake up every morning and literally just choose violence. They'd walk into class smiling way more than usual, and immediately everyone knew something was wrong. They'd be like, "I've got a little surprise for you." And for one tiny second you'd think, maybe it's a movie date or something. Maybe we're going outside. But no. Clear your desks! Instantly, the entire class just forgets everything that we've learned. Some people are crying, some people are trying to figure out how to escape school, because everybody just knows that they're going to fail this pop quiz, because pop quizzes suck. Next up, the PE teacher. I swear that all PE teachers were the exact same person. They always wore shorts, wore a whistle around their neck, and usually wore sunglasses at like all times. And they'd also make the most random exercises ever. "Okay everyone, today we're running 12 laps. Like, why? We're literally in math class after this and now we're gonna be all sweaty. And they were also always so energetic. Like, why are you so hyped at 8 a.m. and screaming, "Come on guys, let's pick up the pace"? Just leave me alone. Oh, and we can't forget their weird obsession with dodgeball. Like, why was every PE teacher trying to recreate the Hunger Games? By the end of class, half the students had been hit in the face, someone was crying, and one kid had a bloody nose. Like, it was just complete chaos. And then there were substitute teachers. Honestly, I kind of felt bad for them. They walk into a class all confident and introduce themselves, completely unaware that they were about to experience the longest hour of their lives. Because for some reason, the second that students found out we had a substitute teacher, everyone just collectively agreed that rules no longer existed. Apparently a sub meant free time. People would start moving seats, talk across the classroom, and try to convince a sub that our teacher always let us do this. No, they absolutely do not. We just knew that the sub didn't know what normal was, so we kind of took advantage of this. I'm sorry. I actually remember one sub that I had. Her name was Miss Sandy. And our class was so unbelievably bad the day that we had her. We were yelling, running around, just committing crimes, honestly. We wanted to see how much we could get away with. And by the end of class, she looked like she was questioning her entire existence. And she left an entire page of things that we did wrong for our teacher the next day. So let's just say when our teacher came back, we got a very big lecture. And I'm pretty sure that Miss Sandy never returned to our school again. If you're seeing this, I'm sorry. Every class had that one student that the teacher just somehow really loved. And the weirdest part was, it never really made sense. It wasn't always the smartest kid, the nicest kid. It was sometimes just a kid named Jacob. Like, what did Jacob even do? Did he save the teacher's life or something? Because the teacher would act like that was the case. Like, this teacher loved that one kid, and it was so clearly obvious that the teacher was picking favorites with Jacob. He'd walk into class 20 minutes late, and the teacher would still be like, "It's okay, don't worry about it." But if I walked in 20 minutes late, I was getting detention. He would hand in an assignment 3 weeks late and still somehow get an A+. Then we've got the teacher that had a sixth sense for phones. You could literally have your phone hidden behind a desk, behind a binder, someplace that nobody could actually ever see. Yet somehow, they'd still know. You'd check the time for literally 1 second, and all you'd hear is, "Hand it over." Like, relax, I was checking if lunch was almost here. You also had the teacher that somehow never actually got to the lesson. They'd start class with the best intentions. "Okay, everyone, we're learning about algebra." Perfect, maybe we'll actually learn something today. Then all of a sudden they'd say one completely unrelated sentence. You know, "Speaking of algebra." Uh-oh. That's when you knew the lesson was just completely over. Because somehow that one singular sentence would turn into an entire 20-long-minute story about how they got lost on vacation in 2007. Or how their cousin accidentally got a pet goat, or the restaurant they ate at over the weekend. And somehow every story had like a million unnecessary side quests too. They'd literally stop halfway through to tell another story inside the original story, like, they just kept talking and talking and talking. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there were kind of some pros to this because realistically, you didn't really have to do that much work in the class. But the only problem was, because you weren't doing work in the class, you would have to do work at home because they didn't give you the adequate time to actually do work in class because they were too busy yapping. So there were pros, but also a lot of cons because I'd rather do my work in school and not when I'm trying to just relax at home. Now, kind of going with the last one, we had the teacher that got way too comfortable with their students. You'd ask them one completely innocent question, "Hey, how was your weekend?" And somehow you'd end up with their entire life story.
Don't even get me started. My husband forgot our anniversary. We've been arguing all week.
I barely slept last night, and now my car won't start.
Meanwhile, the entire class is just sitting there, not really knowing what to do. Do we sympathize with you? Do we ignore you? Because this feels oddly personal. At some point, you stop feeling like a student, and you feel more like a therapist. I guess it's kind of nice that you feel comfortable with us, but we are your students after all. Then you had that one teacher that genuinely believed that their class was like superior to all the classes. They were the most important one. No matter what subject they taught, they acted like their homework should be #1 priority. Like every single class they'd assign something. An essay, a worksheet, a project. They literally took up all of your free time. Then they finish it off with,
This should only take about 30 minutes.
Really? Because yesterday's homework was only 30 minutes, and the day before that, and the day before that too, and before that, and before that. Like, dude, you are assigning us so much homework. So before you know it, we had like 6 hours of homework in 1 week just from you. And we have other classes too. You are not our only class. So like, I'm stressed out. Then, some teachers generally wrote another language. They'd walk up to the whiteboard and spend the next 10 minutes filling every inch of that thing. Then they'd step back, admire their work, and expect the entire class to just copy down what they had written. Meanwhile, everyone was just staring and squinting at this because you literally could not decipher anything that was being written there. It was literally like Egyptian hieroglyphics. It never made any sense at all. So at this point, half the class had just given up. They're not writing it down. The other half was trying to write something down, but were just too confused. Eventually, one brave student would raise their hand and ask,
What does that say?
And without even looking at the board, the teacher would confidently say,
Exactly what I wrote.
Like what? Like at some point, I wasn't even taking notes anymore. I was drawing what I thought the letters looked like and praying that they'd somehow turn into English later. And of course we have the teacher, the one every single school somehow had. The second the bell rang, everybody would pack up, but then you'd hear it.
Where do you think you're going?
The entire class slowly sits back down. The bell doesn't dismiss you. Long dramatic pause. I do. I never understood this. Isn't that literally the bell's job, to dismiss you? Why else is it there? Like, the class that I'm supposed to be in next is already starting and you're preventing me from going there. I'm going to be late. And it's not like everyone was going to magically start paying attention again, because when that bell goes, we all just check out. We're gone. There's just literally no point in this sentence, okay? Because at this point, just get rid of the bells then if they don't dismiss us. I'm not understanding. Anyway, those were the teachers that we all somehow ended up with. If I missed any teachers that you had, please let me know down below, because I'm sure I missed at least one of them. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button, because why not?